Happy new August, dear astrology friends. Today, August 1st, is, as you know, the day of the supermoon in mid Aquarius, mid Leo. And it's also the day of Lammas or Lunasat, which is the center of Leo and the center of summer. So actually today is not exactly 15 degrees of Leo. This would be rather August 7th, 8th. And that leads us to another topic that I'm getting to in a second. But today, what's celebrated is midsummer in the traditional and the Celtic world, and this is typically August 1st. And it's one of the cross quarters days, just like May 1st, Beltane, or Samhain, the Halloween celebration on October 31st, or also Candlemas on February 1st. So for simplicity, on the first of the month, but technically of those months in the fixed signs of the zodiac, which is Leo, which is Scorpio, which is Aquarius and Taurus. And so the energy is really concentrated, and even more so as we get into the actual center of Leo. But the full moon already brings it out big time, because it accentuates the two sides of Leo and Aquarius. Not only that, also Taurus is in the middle. So that forms a fixed T-square, as you see here. This is Taurus. Jupiter in Taurus is squaring the moon in Aquarius and the sun in Leo. And the moon came out of this eye of the needle with Pluto. And I can talk to you in a little later. But this full moon energy is really strong with the T-square, and the T-square is only building. So the moon will today square Jupiter, and the sun will square Jupiter on Saturday, when is it? On Sunday the 6th. Anyway, lots of tension here in the atmosphere. As you know, actually there will be another T-square that I can't address all at once, but I will get to it. So that one brings out a lot of pressure, a lot of dichotomies and polarities, and they can show up in the field, in the fields typically associated with Leo and Aquarius. So Leo being very passionate, very hot, very also self-expressive, right? So there's a lot of expression, a lot of strong positions are being taken by people. And then the question is, does it come from the heart, and is it loving, right? Not just the Leo strength, right, and the roaring, but actually from a place that is warm, and that is the strength of the heart. That would be the true strength. And then from Aquarius, there's a cool distance from Aquarius. Leo likes to be the performer, likes to be on stage, likes to be seen and loved, and gets a lot of attention. And Aquarius is the witness, sees the bigger picture, sees the system in this case, right? And watches and witnesses, right? So can be in the audience, or can be also the quiet witness of all the drama. So those dynamics, and then also typically in people and situations, we're dealing with love, lovers, children, creativity, fun, all the Leo summer stuff, right? And then the energy of Aquarius, which is more friendship, community, and togetherness, and humanity, right? So we need to address all of that as well. It can't just be about each individual self nowadays. As we're moving into Pluto in Aquarius, there's whole systemic changes that are happening, and that we're part of, and what is our part in that system, and how do we see the system as it is changing, and can contribute from the Aquarius side, and distribute also, which is so strong these days. In other words, sharing and spreading the information, or spreading the spirit. from a place of heart, from a place of love, what is going on and what really needs to change, right? So how can we change as a community, as a real community, as a responsible humanity, and not do the old blame game, not do the old top-down elite stuff, right? So that is Capricorn Aquarius as well, but we don't want to give power to all of that, right? So that's also then coming through via Pluto being at the end of Capricorn and dancing on this Capricorn Aquarius cusp this year, 2023 and 2024. So this is a turn of eras, right? So yes, Pluto is in one sign, 15 years kind of average was since 2008 in Capricorn, but will be for longer, for 19 years in Aquarius till 2023, 2043. So it is a big deal, right? So this is a big turnover, but also because Capricorn deals a lot with history and the past and experience, and Aquarius rather with the future that we're co-envisioning. So we're quite at the juncture, and I believe it's one of the indicators, not the only one, that we are shifting into the Aquarius age, and there's other indicators that show us we're shifting out of the Pisces age. Not going to that right now. But yeah, what's with the Pluto piece and the Moon-Pluto connection that connects actually the two T-squares with each other. There's one T-square to Jupiter. Sorry, I forgot about Jupiter part. So the Jupiter part is actually the outlet of this whole dynamic of the full moon. So Jupiter in Taurus reminds us of the importance of nature and also of the importance of values, right? So what are values that we really share and or we are passionate about, and to come from that place, right? And from that inspiring and generous place. And from that, because we probably lots of us really care about nature and everything natural, organic, and healthy from the ground up, Mother Earth, all of that is Taurus. So how can we be an advocate for that in all these in all the heat that's in the atmosphere, which is very apropos Leo Aquarius. Heat in the atmosphere, in the air, in this super hot summer worldwide, but also in the social atmosphere. So you probably also experience, as I did, lots of stuff, lots of tension, lots of contentious energy and dynamics that are being carried out. Then what's a deeper factor here? So a deeper factor, I'm talking about Pluto again. So Pluto here, end of Capricorn, and the moon has passed Pluto yesterday evening, yesterday, July 31st, before going into Aquarius, where it was full today. And so that Pluto piece is also part of another T-square. Pluto is the apex of this T-square with the nodal axis, a cardinal T-square, with the north node in Aries and the south node in Libra, and Pluto end of Capricorn, all at the end of cardinal signs. So what's with that? That is also an indicator that the nodal axis that shifted mid-July is now really fully activated and being brought out by Pluto. And this Pluto square is, yeah, very exact right now. And so what's with that nodal axis? The south node being in Libra. So that can be, one factor can be, oh, things are really out of balance. What's going on? This is really, it knows the south node crossed the tipping point from Scorpio backwards into Libra. So things are bad, we're bad, lots of things were actually looking, lots of shadow, what was being seen, lots of things that needed to come out from the dark, from the shadow, from hiding, from suppressing, And that was a lot going on in the last 1.5 years from South Node in Scorpio. Now we're seeing, oh, that is shows us how things are out of balance, or there's not real justice and fairness going on in the world. Libra, right? And also the choices we make, right? Libra, do we need to make new choices? Do we need to associate with people and places and situations that are a better match for us? But to come to that, we have to heed the shadow of Libra, which would be, oh, compromising, oh, it's not too bad, and there's always something good to be found, right? So Libra is always sees the other side as well, and is very other-oriented, and can also make their choices and design their life around others, and then compromise, and even not feel good about it, right? The South Node, where the Libra is, where the South Node is the next 1.5 years, can also show us where we lose energy, actually, where energy gets drained when we are in incompatible situations. And then the North Node in Aries says, okay, start with yourself. What do you want? And be true, be authentic, be truly you, make a step forward, and show yourself authentically, right? And be brave, take action, right? Take action rather than pondering, sitting on the fence. I could do this or that, right? So that can take forever and doesn't lead to anything often, right? And the Aries says, do something, get started. And now Pluto in T-square with both, in square with both, forming a T-square, says, okay, so A, Capricorn having to do with experience, with elders, with ancestors. So what does our life experience say? Has it been dangerous to step out and do something new? Or have we lost relationships by being truly ourselves? And was it worth it, right? And was it worth compromising? Was it worth staying too long in a bad relationship? Was it worth this and this and that, right? And has it been really, what does life experience say about being, you know, letting life, letting our spontaneity, letting our presence show up and emerge from an Aries perspective, and being guided, because late Aries is where the south and the north node is now, has a Sagittarius undertone. So being guided by our heart and by our higher self, and then life is an adventure, right? So that is very supported, and being in our truth, and showing up with our truth, rather than Libra South Node, end of Libra, Gemini undertone, listening to all the voices and being too much in the head, right? So Pluto has shown us, okay, this is what matters most at the end of the day. And we can also, with Pluto in Capricorn, connect with elders, with ancestors, to get their support, and they have our back, right? So then from that place, being in community, the moon in Aquarius, post Capricorn, being in community and with people where there is really a good match. That is early Aquarius having a Libra undertone, right? So lots of that going on these days in the astrosphere. And what else is on? What else is on in Leo? Haven't talked too much probably last time. I probably did. Last week, every week is fresh, right? About Venus retro. So Venus is now fully retro since July 22nd, and that goes on until September 3rd. And that is also an indicator to come away from that Venus evening star, Libra undertone, right? Again, too much about others, old relationship patterns that don't work anymore. Come back to our true self-love. Venus in Leo, love ourselves, treasure ourselves, and radiate that out, attract from there, choose from love, and value ourselves, finding our values, finding value in ourselves, which is Libra, which is Venus, as she comes out as a morning star with Taurus undertone. Again, Taurus, word Jupiter. So there's lots of repeating themes here, right? Anyway, Venus retrograde, and Venus just connected with Lilith. So here is the chart again. Venus just in retro connected with Lilith on, put it here, August 30th. That was just recently. So that, of course, also heated up the atmosphere, made things wilder than even before. And I don't want to make excuses, but I am also, in a way, not surprised about the synchronicity of Lilith in Leo this year, since January until October, synchronicity with all the wildfires, right? This is a wild energy. I'm not saying, okay, it's all good, it should happen, I don't condone it, and I'm not even going into the whole question of origins of wildfires, what's the whole system here, why are there are so many, which parties are interested in wildfires, blah, blah, right? So, but there are wildfires in Venus and Lilith, both connected in Leo, right? So, how can our energy, our spirit, be as wild, like a wildfire, not in a dangerous way, but in a passionate way, right? How can we have tongues of fire in a good way, right? That's what Lilith in Leo would promote. And then, yes, also, I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Yes, it's the first of two full moons in August, which you probably already read. Yes, the second full moon in August will be on the 30th, 31st, depending on where you are, planet Earth. And so that will be the blue moon, because the blue moon goes by calendar month. And yes, but it will be in Pisces Virgo. This one, the only one in Aquarius Leo. Right? But two full moons frame the month of August. That's quite something. And not only two full moons, but two supermoons. In fact, the next supermoon will be the most supermoon of the 4 in a row. What does that mean? The moon will be in its orbit closest even to the Earth, appearing brighter, appearing bigger, and that's called a perigee. And this year, 4 supermoons in a row. That started last month on the 3rd of July, and now the second one, the third one is sort of the climaxing supermoon, and the fourth one, the harvest moon, will be also supermoon, and that ends that series. So the tides are high energetically. I haven't checked the tide tables, maybe too, but definitely there's so much up and really very out there in community and in amongst the world, humanity. People are really worried about the future, and having to do with climate, having to do with fires, having to do with systems, having to do with where is this going, more Aquarian, with Pluto kicking in, more transhumanism, more basically humanity as we know it being abolished, being replaced by systems, by machines, by robots, by artificial intelligence, by all of that stuff. How does that make you feel? Where is your passionate Leo creative self? Is your own creativity being done by a machine soon? And how can you preserve your soul, your heart, your spirit, right, in all of this? And how can we as humanity, as community, still keep cultivating that rather than isolating and alienating and polarizing ourselves from each other? And so what else is going on this week? Yeah, today, a lot going on with this full moon. there's also Mercury in early Virgo. Mercury entered Virgo, so that's new also since the last Astro News video. Mercury entered Virgo on the 28th of July and will be there for a long time until early October. All in Virgo because, yes, you guessed it, Mercury will go retrograde. And that's going to happen from August 23rd on until September 15th. Yes, it's the time again, 3 times a year, and typically in the same element. So this year in the earth element. And this will be then the Virgo season with Mercury retro in Virgo. So Mercury is actually well matched and at home in Virgo, and that was actually quite a good shift from the Mercury in Leo, which is often over the top, dramatic, and self absorbed for Mercury for the mind. And with Virgo, things get more rational and practical again. Mars is already in Virgo too until end of August when Mercury goes retrograde. And so the two now in Virgo really ground the energy and can help us get things done and get things organized and be also more realistic about things. And fantastic time for any summer projects that you might want to do, any clearing, any cleaning, any home improvement or whatever it may be. Wonderful, wonderful with Virgo, right? Virgo has lots of energy for that. And Virgo is also, of course, about health and wellness. So, what is a good health and wellness practice you might want to strengthen or adopt? And also look how your life is aligned, whether your actual lifestyle aligns with your purpose, with your intention, or you got sort of sidetracked. You got like Saturn in Pisces would also show us how we can get so pulled into all sorts of addictions, in fact, right? With Pisces, and confusion and delusion and being sort of lost there, right? In the chaos, right? And Saturn says, okay, we gotta stop this. Maybe less exposure to inundating media can help, stuff like that, right? And so Mercury also says, okay, what would be small stuff I can do now that actually makes a difference and is less of that problem, right? Now I want to contribute to the problem rather than to the solution. And and as I said, the Sun in Leo will square Jupiter in Taurus. That's quite something. That's going on Sunday. And that's pretty much in central, totally central Leo and central Taurus then, right? Just before the Lion's Gate 8-8. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And so that is a strong, passionate, but can be also quite a sticky situation because both Leo and Taurus are fixed signs and they concentrate energy, and it can be a power stuff can come out, right? But also it can be a time where we're going totally wildly, passionately for all the summer activities that we love so much, and nature, so it can be fun, entertainment, celebration, all the Leo stuff, and also time in nature. But we can be also excessive with Sun Jupiter, right? And then notice, oh my gosh, I totally exhausted myself with all of this, right? But it can be also a wonderful time to totally appreciate Mother Earth, the creative source of life, right? So that's also, and Father Sky, right? That's a beautiful combination of Leo and Taurus. So yeah, and then yes, then we're moving from that place on even more into the so-called Lion's Gate. What's that? That is has been that term has been coined in the last decade maybe or two. I didn't come across it before. Lion's Gate being the 8-8 date, and that is the center of Leo. So technically would be the 7th of August, but it sounds better if you have double 8 and 8 also being a power number. And it's a very concentrated energy there, right? So what is opening up? This is the time when the Egyptians found that the planet, or maybe other cultures as well, I should say, right? But the star Sirius is rising again before the sun, the heliacal rising, right, of Sirius before the sun Helios at dawn. And that was highly celebrated in Egypt. And Sirius was considered actually association with the goddess Isis. Osiris was Horus? No. Yes. Osiris. Sorry. Osiris was Orion. Okay. Anyway, the constellation of Orion was associated with Osiris. And the star Sirius, this beautiful blue star Sirius, was associated with the goddess and priestess Isis. Lots of culture around that, right? But it is also a time of what's called the spiritual sun is rising in our heart. So on top of the physical sun in our solar system, celebrated in Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun. There's also, you could say, in the chakras, the high heart or the spiritual sun in us. So let's welcome the spiritual sun, more light through this gate, through this lion's gate, that we can bring in and bring through and create from there. Be passionate, be an expression of the light, be an expression of spirit. And so all of that is just building now, and you probably feel it. Some people say it started with the entry of the sun into Leo. Maybe, yeah. So definitely was already brought out with a supermoon, and then build up to 8/8. And I think that's a grand finale, except I'd like to talk a little bit about the moon still, and also the undertone of Leo. So now we're moving on August 2nd, tomorrow, into the center of Leo, right? So again, it's a Lionsgate, center of Leo. And that is technically from 11 to 20 degrees of Leo. Or you could say, yeah, 11 to 20, so the central 10 degrees of Leo, have also a Leo undertone. So this is double Leo, and there's a lot of strength, confidence, radiance, solid glow, right? Central summer, right? So that energy wants to be expressed through us now, right? And then we have the lunar phases. So now still in the full moon phase, definitely as long as the moon is in Aquarius, which will be until tomorrow again, August 2nd in the evening. So still full moon energy. You can see her bright and clear sailing across the sky, relatively low in the ecliptic, since the sun in contrast is relatively high. And they are opposite. And then the moon goes into Pisces from tomorrow, Wednesday, the 2nd at 8:05 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time on, until almost exactly 3 days, Friday, 2 days, Friday, 8:19 p.m. also. So 2 days of Pisces moon, in this case, waning moon. So waning, even though it's still kind of coming from the full place, but waning is a lot about release, right? It's a lot about actually receiving the gifts of the full moon, just like oh wow, all this harvest, right? So harvest moon is a great metaphor for any full moon. And then you have the Pisces, like wow, okay, so everything is coming together. Can we actually be in this abundance mode? And can we actually be in flow and in receptivity, which is very Pisces? How does that work? And how can we actually also dance with what is? Anything like Pisces, also spiritual sign, can see, okay, it's all a gift. It's all a harvest, right? So in a way, in a deeper way, and in the end, it's really all good, right? Doesn't mean it's all easy, right? And surrender is the teaching, as also with Saturn in Pisces. Then the moon will be in Aries, and that's another always a renewing shift. As I said, Friday the 4th in the evening, and all day Saturday, and pretty much all day Sunday Pacific, until 11:25 p.m. on Sunday. So that with Leo Aries combination and more Aries via Venus and Lilith, right? So there's a lot of fire. There's a lot of passionate energy. It can be quite the firework energy of the weekend, right? Lots to celebrate, a very strong, active energy. Maybe it's the height of your energy in the year, especially if you are very fiery or have other components where you could use this fire. Very, very concentrated and highlighted. Then the moon settles, grounds out all of this on Sunday evening. Yeah, on the settling point, coming home or coming to a place of rest, and that is Taurus on all day Monday and also all day Tuesday 8/8 until the morning of Wednesday 9th of August. We'll talk about that next week. But that is a beautifully grounding energy and also integrative, and a time when moon in Taurus, moon is exalted in Taurus where it's best positioned, and I just see a beautiful synchronicity that everybody will love on 8/8 at 111. The moon in Taurus will meet Jupiter. That is a real beautiful alignment, right? And that seems to be such a blessing to celebrate life, be grateful for nature, and be inspired and generous from that place, right? So, yeah, beautiful 8/8 is building up there. Now, I believe this can be the end for today. I've been talking already quite a while. I just see 32 minutes. So, don't want to keep you much longer from your full moon activities. And I hope you have a beautiful week, beautiful entry into August with this supermoon. Wishing you well, and see you next week, or maybe before if we have a session. Oh, completely forgot to mention. Yes, now today is the first day of my Client Appreciation Month. That is now officially on, celebrating 23 years of my astrology practice in Victoria, which started in August 2000. Seriously. And so every month, every year for the month of August, I celebrate my clients and my practice by offering beautiful discounts, especially to people who have been my clients for a long time or had the first session a long time ago, and we haven't seen each other in a while. So yeah, coming over if you could use an update and check in or a new session. This is of course also for new clients. So the discounts are from 11, 22, and even 33% on each session. And bookings have begun. You're most welcome to join the party and get astrology at this special month of August, and of course also with tarot cards. Right? Sessions can be in person in Victoria or online. And now have a beautiful week. Until soon. Bye bye.